Hey YouTube, hey. Just give it up, man. Just go home now, kids. That was one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones they've ever done. That was outstanding. I'm gonna move over here into the center of the camera because that just works better. So this is my absolutely spoiler-filled review of Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 4. And holy hell, man. It's deep stuff, dude. It's deep stuff. It's their best yet. I'm getting ahead of myself, okay? First of all, the episode begins in the last way that I expected it to begin. A Stark reunion. You know, wow. And that meant everything to us as the audience. We're like, Jon and Sansa, I don't think they've ever shared screen time together before. Like, not even at the way back in season 1. I don't think they've ever been in the same scene before, you know, except for that one time when Robert Baratheon comes in. But, like, they explain all that away. The hug is beautiful. The music is great. You know, it's one of those moments that it's like, it's a small victory for us. It's like, yeah, maybe things are going to work out, you know? It's beautiful. They explain that when they're having that little chat. You know, oh, I was always moping in the corner. You were quite horrible because you were a little princess, and like, their experiences were terrible, and now they're different people, very much so. I mean, I don't know if Jon Snow said, "Hey, so I died." It was a whole thing, and you know, Sansa's saying, we're going to go home. We're going to take Winterfell back. How many men do you have out there? And he's like, I didn't. And Jon, which, you know, I can completely understand, has come back from the dead and he's like, listen, I fought and I died. Okay, it's done. I don't want to do that. You know, I can understand if he wants to go his own way. And he says to Ed, I'm going to go south. I'm going to get warm. Okay, there's nothing else. I don't want to fight anymore. I've been fighting. I had to hang a boy younger than Bran. It's all taken a toll. There's clearly a psychological impact of everything that he's went through. He's still kind of in shock, to put it delicately. So obviously towards the end of the episode we get a reversal where after Ramsay Bolton sends a letter to the Wall because, you know, he expects Sansa to go to the Wall. It just makes sense. He says, hey, by the way, I've taken over Winterfell, got your little brother, and I'm going to kill all the wildlings unless I get her back. So, yeah. And then I'm going to rape her, I'm going to kill her. Yeah, it's just Ramsay being Ramsay. Speaking of which, let's just take a moment to appreciate the new OTP in town, which is Tormund Giantsbane and Brienne of Tarth. Brienne, who's being eyed at in a way that she doesn't often get eyed at, and Tormund just eating a chicken really stuck to it. Yeah. Can you imagine me chowing down on this? Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird flirting. That's wildling flirting. I kind of think Brienne can do better, but at the same time, let Brienne get some, man. Also, she had a great scene. Everyone's firing on all cylinders. If I'm all over the show in this video, it's because this was a great episode. Everybody is duly served in this. Everyone is greatly written. Storylines that were really at a grudging pace are really picking up. Characters are getting the moments to shine again. Last week's episode was a slow one. It was, you know, we had a little, not a backtrack, but just a little lull, you know? Understandable. Now we're back in course. In fact, this episode sets up a lot of what I think is going to happen in the latter arc or the latter half of this season. But again, jumping around the place. For starting with Sansa again, who's now head bitch in charge, saying you know, listen, we're gonna take Winterfell. It doesn't matter, you know, how many men do you have? 2,000. We're going. Okay, that's our home. Jon Snow's like, we don't know he has Rickon. She's like, yes, we do. He just said it. We're going. And it's almost imperceptible, but he just gives it a quick nod. He's like, yeah. And that nod made me throw my fist in the air and be like, yes, here we go. The Battle of the Bastards, man. We're on. Okay, it's coming. So that's cool. I'm going to jump over now. Theon goes home. So that happened. There's that. Theon is Theon again. He apologizes to his sister. He's like, listen, he broke me into 1,000 pieces. Yeah, we got one of those pieces. She's so brusque. She doesn't give a fuck. But she's like, well, we tried to rescue you, and men died trying to rescue you, and you just betrayed us. And what do you want? So it's not we got one friendly brother and sister reunion, and then we got one less so. Actually, no, we got 3 brother-sister reunions in this, with Loras and Marjorie. That scene was interesting. That's probably my least favourite scene. Jonathan Pryce is amazing, but that scene with the High Sparrow is weird, where he's just going, once I was a cobbler, and then I threw a massive party, and I realized that all my self-indulgence and wealth was keeping me from being who I really am, so I left them. So that, I don't know what to make of that, but it does lead us into the King's Landing storyline, which is the remaining aristocrats, but ganging together and thinking, right, what are we going to do about these zealots? What are we going to do about this religious uprising? Because they've said repeatedly, religion and the crown, those are the 2 pillars of the world. Without one, the other one falls, and they're threatening each other right now, very overtly. It's the point of sort of civil war in the streets. So that's coming to a head. Jaime and Cersei are getting shit done in a really pragmatic way. They're like, listen, this has got to happen. We got to get these guys out of here. We've got to get Lancel out of that cult. They play the Lancel card to Kevin Lannister. They're like, don't you want your son back? Which is dirty pool, but they're going to wait till the right moment, and then they're going to strike. We don't know how that's going to go down. No sign of Mountain Stein this week, so interesting. But obviously, I can't imagine everything is going to go to plan with this. But I'm interested. I'm interested to see what happens there. Let me see what else. Oh, another really good scene. Tyrion. They're finally doing something with him again. I swear to God, like that episode where he meets the Masters. That's him showing his political wiles again for what seems like years. Oh my God, it's so refreshing to see him. Like, yes, this is what he does. He's a master at this. This is why he was put on that earth. Where he's saying, like, listen, he meets the Masters, and he's like, listen, you don't like slaves, you like money. Find other ways of making money. We'll give you 7 years to do that, okay? And we'll pay you for it. So obviously that pisses off Daenerys' 2 former slave companions, and they're like, he just turns to, yeah, slavery's bad, war is bad. I can't get rid of 2 at the same time, okay? So pick one, and we'll take it from there. So, yeah, I like, again, pragmatic, politically, it's genius. It's not the happiest resolution they want, but it's long term, it could work, and it could really make things better for whenever Daenerys comes back. And that brings me on to that storyline. Now, the Dosh Khaleen storyline with the Dothraki, I gotta be honest, I predicted this going a different way. Similar to how it went, but with dragons. What actually happened was far more refreshing and far more rewarding, because it's Daenerys reminding us, the audience, and her captors, why she is who she is. She is resourceful. She is cold. She is merciless. She is inspiring. She's a born leader. She's all of these things without armies, dragons, wealth, power, all of that. She still is that because of her nature and her character. That's all amazing. So I was really happy to see this scene play out the way it did. Man, with just the scene in Dosh Khaleen, where first of all, Jorah and Daario Naharis, those 2. Part of me wants them to fight. Another part of me wants them to just like I would watch these guys forever. That episode, that bit where he stabs a guy and rescues Jorah, and he's like, well, they're gonna come looking for us if they see a knife wound. He's like, okay. Bashes his head in with a rock 4 or 5 times, and just goes like, done. Love it. Fantastic. This is one of the funniest episodes they've done as well. Multiple times, laughing out loud here. But yes, it all comes to a head. All the Khals have this big meeting where they decide, you know what, you're not going to be in the Dosh Khaleen. And they confirmed that this is the same place from season 1, which was a couple of budgets ago. That was awesome. Where she's like, yeah, this is where Khal Drogo had his big awesome speech that everyone loves, where he's like, we're gonna cross that Black Salt Sea and we're gonna take them and we're gonna burn them. It's like, yes, you are. And that didn't happen. And the Dothraki were like, yeah, what happened? You trusted a witch. Your children's dead. Your child dead. Khal Drogo's dead. It's done. Now we're all going to rape you and we're going to cut you up and then we're going to let these guys have it and then we're going to let the horses have it. And the guy who plays the main Khal in this, Khal Barbo, something like that. I liked him. I wanted him to become her like Dothraki second in command. Nah, he's gone, dude. His ship's sailed. Well sailed. Daenerys just pushes over all these like flaming chamber pots. I don't know what to call them. They're not fire pits. They're just flame baskets. I'm drawing a blank here. Anyway, she pushes them over one by one. The last time she straight up murders him. They're locked in. It goes up in flames. All the Dothraki come running because they're standing there aghast at their seat of power is just being incinerated. And out steps Daenerys, naked as the day she was born, or naked as the day she was reborn from that fire back in season 1 with the dragons. No dragons this time, but she doesn't need them because she has just convinced every Dothraki that she's the Khaleesi for them. So that's awesome. She did it all herself, and we see, Jorah seeing it, it's like, this again, and he kneels down. Daario Naharis has a few more seconds in like awe, where he's just going, what the... I mean, I don't know if he ever properly bought into it. She was just another ruler, just another queen, and then this happened. And now he sees the magic in her, and it was a great episode. Again, head bitch in charge. That's the Khaleesi. It's such a win for her. She did it all herself. She's gotten rid of this stupid hierarchy, and now it's just, I'm the Khaleesi. And everyone just bows. It's a brilliant shot. It's a great counterpart for the one last season at Hardhome, where we see all of the dead rising up. We just see that boat in the middle of the lake. And now we see all the living bowing down in this burning house and this one woman standing in front of it. It's awesome. And I've said that a few times, but I mean it every goddamn time. I'm so happy to see the Dothraki getting back in the game. I'm so happy to see Littlefinger back. I almost forgot about him. He's saying, okay, it's time to join in the fray. This episode sets up so much. It's like, okay, shit's getting real this season. Shit's gonna go down. Let's get in it. So people that have stayed on the sidelines are like, okay, we need to make our move now. The Dothraki are back in there. Littlefinger's got an army at his command. He's like, okay, we better get a move on. There's going to be civil war in King's Landing. There's going to be civil war in the north. Dragons are about now in the wild. It's all good. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. If you like this vid, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz. And we'll see you back here next week for more Thrones. All the best.